I'm heading into the happiest place on earth, my job. You haven't gathered by now, that's always sarcasm. That's always going to be sarcasm. Job is far from the happiest place on earth. But, I'm not doing too badly. So my thought for this morning is a pretty simple one.
At the light, turn.
The life that chances are, if you've lived long enough, the life that you have right now is, at a point in time in your life, a life that you dreamed about having. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say that, I'm not saying the life of your dreams, right? I'm not saying the life of your dreams. This is what I'm saying. We all reach these very low points in our lives. Good morning, chocolate. We all reach these very extremely low points in our lives at one time or another. And at those points in our lives, we say to ourselves, man, I wasn't grateful for the things that, or the way that my life was before it got to this low point. So if I could just at least get back to like a baseline of how my life was before, I would be happy. And I feel like that's what I have to keep reminding myself, because I've had lower lows than most. Not like regular life lows, but the type of lows that not everybody experiences. Because there are some things that are kind of experienced by everybody, and there's other things that are not experienced by any, and like a select few have these terrible experiences, and I'm one of them. And I remember during those times, I said, I would be great if I could just be able to get up in the morning, leave my house, do a job, whatever the job is, contribute to society, and come home and be at peace. Like, those are my main things. As long as I have those things, I'm going to be happy. And I remember when I first got those things and I first got to that point, I was actually very happy and grateful. Then I was like, I've been doing this for a while. Now those things no longer make me happy. I have loftier ideas of what makes me happy. And so now sometimes I feel unhappy about the next set of things that I want to do or achieve or whatever. But then I think back to the harder time that I'm talking about, and the fact that I got out of that, and that I even have written down on paper, like, if I can get through this time, nothing is gonna faze me in that way again. And that's not to even so what I'm looking for, that's not to even marginalize the way that I'm feeling now, but it is a way for me to remind myself that there are worse things going on in the world. I won't stay long because I haven't said my prayers in the morning. Well, thanks for joining. I've been up since 3 a.m. Anxiety kicking my butt. I know how that goes. Today's going to be my first day back at work, by the way, back at actual work in the office since last week, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's 5 days. Well, 3 days out of the office. But, 5 total days not having to see these wonderful people that I call co-workers. God, I hope none of them are following my YouTube channel. People always suggest that to me. Are you sure nobody from work watches your page? And I'm like, well, If it is detrimental to me to talk the way that I talk on my page, nobody has told me so yet. That's the way that I look at it. I'm like, if someone was gonna get rid of me based on work, and how I speak about my work on the internet, then they would have done so already. But the other thing is, I don't really, I talk really generically. Yes, I'm sure that if somebody from work stumbled upon my page and was listening to my page or whatever, a few of them would be able to identify that I'm talking about them. But let me refresh. Okay, I just refreshed. Yeah, like a few of them would be able to identify that I'm speaking on them, but I feel like
Go past this light.
the ones that would easily be able to identify that I'm speaking about them, I don't speak poorly of them. And the ones that
At the light, turn.
wouldn't be able to identify that, the other ones, well, I just don't think they'd be stumbling around looking for my page. I'd be shocked. But if they did, so I'm a person of I said what I said energy. So if I don't like somebody and I say it on the internet and they happen to find it and approach me and say, like, did you say this? I would say yes. I've always been on that. Even when I was like a young kid in school and stuff, and if somebody told on me and said, Mark said this and this and this, and they were like, did you say that? I wasn't the kid that was like, no. I was a kid that was like, yes, I did. And I said it because yada yada. Now, does that make what I said right? No. But I've always been a stand on business person is basically it. But anyways, that's my quick thought for the day. Thanks for hopping on. And please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop some more great content. Thank you all. Have a great day.